and welcome to the Perth to Paisley podcast. The 2025-26 campaign got underway with some Monday night madness as Hearts played Aberdeen at Tynecastle. All the other numpties in the Scottish Premiership playing on Saturday and Sunday. And to join me, Adam Kennedy, in discussing the Jambos heading to the top of the league table is Daniel McIver. McIver, 3 points to kickstart the campaign. Heart and Midlothian sat at the top of the Scottish Premiership table. Just how much are you looking forward to us discussing the men in maroon picking up 3 precious points?
Extremely. Realise this is my 21st year of attending games at Tynecastle, 22nd season, as my first game was January '04. Berwick Rangers. We won. First goal I ever saw in a live game of football, own goal. Set myself up for Hearts full effect.
Hey, there might be some wee nipper that was there last night that could say the exact same thing.
I was just going to say, how weird is that the first goal was? I never thought of that until right now. Fair play. Thank you, Graham Shinney. But yeah, listen, my point there was going to be I can't think of a time where I was going into a season this excited. There's obviously been excitement at various stages. Obviously, the main one that people listening to this would say, well, what about 05-06? I was 7, so I didn't have the same. I didn't have the same engagement of going, well, what's Robin Bednar's running stats like? Oh, it's very good. Whereas now I'm like, I've seen Claudio Braga's heat map. I'm excited. Let's go. So yeah, extremely excited. Was then extremely happy with what happened. It's been a very interesting week to be a Hearts fan, I think is the way that I'd like to put it best, but an exciting one. Some slight trepidation about some comments made. But overall, incredibly excited about a new era. What about you?
Don't think I could have summed it up much better than that, to be honest. Yeah, there is a little bit of trepidation, skepticism. But I think, much like everything in life, I'm not going to stress over something that I can't control. So we're just going to put that onto the back burner. Talk about the here and now, what's actually happened. And Hearts top of the league.
Tony Bloom was right. He's literally done it faster than anybody thought.
If we could have some sort of global pandemic whereby the league would shut down at an early stage, that would be great. But unfortunately,
I'd take Hibs getting second for us to win. They can have it.
Aberdeen
they can
have relegated as well.
It would be the perfect
nigh on perfect. But sadly, that won't be the case.
No.
We're going to discuss Hearts heading to the promised land, where hopefully they'll stay for quite a long time. That would be great. But alongside our match, there were, of course, 5 other matches taking place in the top tier of Scottish football, along with a whole host of other SPFL matches. But we're only here to talk about the top tier because that's where we play. And we're going to start with a side that weren't in the top tier last season, Livingston, heading to Kilmarnock to take on Killie at Rugby Park. The two teams playing out a 4-goal thriller after the visitors came back from 2 goals down to peg back the 10-man hosts. And then on Saturday evening, much was made of the Rangers' revolution under Russell Martin. However, it did not go to plan to kick off their league campaign. James Tavernier initially giving the Gers the lead at Fir Park before the Steelmen scored with 3 minutes to go, courtesy of Emmanuel Longello, to grab a deserved point. 3 matches took place on the Sunday, the first of which was Falkirk's first top-tier match in 15 years, which ended all square as they managed to equalise twice against Dundee United Nations. The two teams playing out a 2-2 draw. And Hibernian, unfortunately, got off to a winning start. Kieran Bowie's brace proving the difference at Dens Park. Pressure continuing to mount on Stephen Presley and the D. And then on Sunday afternoon, 4:30 kick-off in front of the telly cameras. Celtic leaving it late, as they so often do, against a stuffy St Mirren side, thanks to super sub Luke McCowan's goal after Callum McGregor's goal had controversially been chopped off, courtesy of handball. So the reigning champions get the win, Hibernian get the win. a lot of pressure heading into Monday night McIver in our match. But what did you make of the other 5 fixtures in Scotland's top tier?
To go chronologically, Livy Killy seemed like a really good game. I've just seen the highlights, but
Would not have wagered that that would have been a good
no,
game.
that's the game of the weekend.
Played out a 1-0 Killy win in the League Cup.
Yeah, like I saw Martindale afterwards was like, obviously we're very happy with the ending of everything. However, all the way up until we first scored, he wasn't very chuffed. But Macaulay Tate apparently did really well, which I have a vested interest in, obviously. I'm really chuffed for Ryan McGowan, by the way, getting to be captain. That's cool.
What a guy.
Killy continued to just confuse me a wee bit because I feel like that was everything that Kettlewell has, where it's like, oh, they're actually doing quite well. Oh, no, they fucked it. Like, that seems to sum up Kettlewell pretty much. So
This is the start of his managerial career till now. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like the
literally.
initial rise with these clubs and then it all goes
He was at Ross County and all that, and he was like, oh, he's doing well. Oh, no, Motherwell's been a disaster. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how they go. Rangers was just like... I don't know what to say about Russell Martin's comments because I really like Russell Martin, right? For non-footballing reasons and footballing reasons. I think he's got a good style. And I saw a thing he spoke about, I don't know what it was, I don't think it was on Under the Cosh, but he was on a podcast in the summer where basically he spoke about the fact that so many people said to him, what were you playing at last season with Southampton?
Was it not Lineker's?
Maybe it was the rest is football. And he basically was like, yeah, the reason I just didn't change the way we were playing is that I was basically giving guarantees that regardless of what happened, I was going to still be in the job the next season in the Championship. So my thought process was, right, well, if we're going to get relegated anyway, let's just keep playing the way we're playing. So it's a whole year against better opposition to learn the style. So then when we start next campaign against weaker opposition, theoretically, we're a better team and we know it. Then they sacked him. And he was like, if I'd known that, I would have been more pragmatic. I would have changed it. So he comes across as a guy who has a plan, who has a style. But as I said when he was appointed, and as I said last week during the preview and stuff, I don't think he'll be given time, especially when he started off the league like this. But his comments...
And they were lucky to escape with a point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Motherwell...
what he said.
Yeah.
If Motherwell had their shooting boots on,
it could have been a very different story.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Martin's kind of trying to play 4D chess here because they're playing Dundee at Ibrox this weekend. So kind of regardless, it should be a win. Whereas he's just coming out and slewing them. So if they win convincingly, it looks like they've really reacted, even though they probably were going to do that anyway.
Mind you, I mean, as we record, they're obviously playing in the Champions League. Victoria Pilsen has made some changes. So he's kind of backed up what he said in the press, which I don't necessarily mind.
I liked what he said, but I'm obviously going to like a Rangers manager being like,
it really was a great one.
They're shite. But fair play to him. Motherwell looked good.
We underestimated them.
I know. That's all I was thinking.
I noticed Chris Boyd was very quick to come back on his comments, which I did find quite funny because he tipped Motherwell to finish in the playoff place, and then it's just altered that after one game week. So we're not going to go for Chris Boyd, but elsewhere, like, do you think there are teams that we've maybe overestimated, underestimated? What do you think?
I spent last week saying that I think Falkirk will finish 8th, and I think the next highest place I've seen somebody predict them is 11th. So everybody has said Falkirk will go back down. And then they looked alright, so to perfectly kind of go into their game, that was a good game as well, probably the other pick of the weekend. Again, it was just cool to see Falkirk back. Obviously, we'll get to them later, but Dundee United are our opponents this weekend. They're obviously a different animal at home, but I didn't think they looked up to much, really. However...
And they've got to come back from Austria midweek as well.
Exactly.
So that's a big bonus for us.
The European aspect of it will take its toll. I think they've got a couple of good players, but generally, I don't think they look too up to much. So as a result, how much can you compare to Falkirk? However, by that same logic, Falkirk should be weaker than everybody. So the fact that they managed to come back twice... It's very commendable. Hibs, I mean, I think that alongside Celtic beating St Mirren was the most predictable result of the weekend, and Celtic actually made it quite hard work. So
That was
Dundee
not
just
a good
look.
watch.
No,
Jesus.
Celtic St Mirren was just. It was a very St Mirren performance. It was just
It
like, we
was.
are going to get a point here. And in fairness, they basically did everything right
They were
apart from
unlucky not to, actually.
yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to like criticize them in any way. It nearly worked perfectly. So unlucky. It was like a deflection as well. Like it wasn't just like,
Yeah.
oh,
There's
a
there's
screamer.
ways to get beat, but
Yeah.
that necessarily wasn't it.
Hibs, I don't think looked anything special, but they looked comfortable. But that is more of a story about just how bad Dundee looked. Again, this is just someone who's watched sports scene, but oh my god! Like I saw a friend of the podcast, Andrew Petrie, did a article in the BBC where he spoke about the fact that Presley, literally in his pre-match presser, said, "We're not the finished article yet. We've got a long way to go. We're not looking too great." And it's like, that's what your manager's saying at the start of the season. Like, this is meant to be where it's
Yes.
all optimism, where we're loving life.
That is very concerning. I would be concerned if I was a Dundee fan. And again, it's a Hibs team that had been taken to extra time
Yeah,
on Thursday night, and you still can't quite take advantage of them
exactly.
at the weekend
But
or whatever.
the games went almost how I thought they would go. The Rangers result is obviously the big outlier there, and the Celtic performance, just in terms of how much they struggled a wee bit. But generally, I think the results went all right for us. There was a lot of draws, and out with Hibs winning, but that was kind of like, you're expecting everybody to beat Dundee this season, whoever's playing them.
Yeah, yeah. If you could choose, if you had to go away at the start of the season and you had to choose who you would travel to,
Yeah,
you're taking Dens all day. Particularly as we touched on, the only team to not make it out of the League Cup group stage
yeah,
were Dundee. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't think there were too many surprises. I did
yeah.
get two correct scores upon my return to Scottish Premiership action. Those being Hibs and Hearts. Um, Again, Celtic to win to nil tick, Falkirk Dundee United tick, but Saturday was probably where the shocks came. Not too much of a surprise the Kelly Livy draw, but as you rightly say, Rangers dropping points was obviously the big one. That paved the way for us on Monday night, but prior to Monday night, um, we had a signing to announce, and someone who featured last night as we record. Someone,
Technically.
yeah, technically, just to know more.
Yep.
And that was Icelandic midfielder Thomas Bent Magnusson.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yep, I
The
think so.
22-year-old joins the
It's not
Jambos
that
from.
hard a name, I'll be
No, I
honest.
know, but it's just you see when you see like the accents, like is it
Aye.
Magnusson? Is it like
No, it's
that'll
Magnusson.
come Magnusson?
Icelandic, it's
Okay.
Magnusson.
Big
This is the
Tam.
son of Magnus.
Very nice. Tam joins the Jambos for an undisclosed fee from top flight side Valour, subject to international clearance and Scottish FA approval, pending a 3-year deal at Tynecastle Park. A tall, very tall, energetic
Very tall.
central midfielder, Thomas has made a name for himself in his homeland, where he boasts a League Cup winners' medal and has been part of a promotion-winning side. The beginning of this year saw Thomas move to Valour, where he was part of the League Cup winning team that triumphed over Filkir in the competition's final with a 3-2 victory. He got his first taste of European football this month, scoring 2 goals in 3 games as Valour saw off FC Flora in the Europa Conference League first round qualifiers and drew 1 each in the first leg of the next round against Kauno Zalgiris. Thomas now checks into Gorgie to continue his career, and Derek McInnes is pleased to be able to bolster his midfield options. Speaking to the Hearts website, Derek said, "I'm pleased we've been able to bring Thomas in ahead of tonight's game, i.e. the Aberdeen match. Yeah, he'll bring a presence to the middle of the park with his height and athleticism, and he's a very dynamic player in that he can both defend and attack. I'm looking forward to working with him in the weeks and months ahead." McIver, we've had a very, very small sample size, but he seems the type of player that you will be glazing over.
Oh, he's continental with a hairband. He's Peter Haring 2.0. I'm in love. However,
He does look a bit like a big Pete regen, doesn't he?
I saw a post yesterday. That's what I was. If you were watching on YouTube, that's what I'm checking my phone for. It's just you'll have seen this, but for the listeners who haven't, I'm going to read a review from a Velour fan.
Oh, I don't think I have seen this.
Oh well, fucking strapping.
Is it Egert Jonsson by any chance?
Egert Jonsson gets a mention.
Oh, nice.
Greetings from Reykjavik. I currently have a season ticket to watch Valour, and I see you guys have signed Magnuson from us. That is where the positivity ends. I am very surprised you guys chose him. Our league is not that powerful and he is not that good. He had sacks of potential, but his attitude is shocking. We refer to him, and this is where we'll speak about pronunciation, because
Oh no.
fuck me, as Kujluknun. No idea. Due to him being afraid and just runs around silly. Our club were looking to remove him due to, and this is the bit where I go, you know what? I quite like the sound of this guy. Due to insulting John Njar, who is the mayor of Reykjavik, and calling him a dog. I don't know the context. I hope you guys get something out of him. I always have a soft spot for Hearts after producing great Icelandic players like Egil Jonsson and Hjalmar Paransson. Best wishes, Ike from Reykjavik. So thank you, Ike from Reykjavik, the Valur fan. He sounds like the worst player ever, but he just badmouths political figures. He'll fit right in Scotland.
See, when I spoke about the law of averages and that a signing had to be shite,
It's by all sounds, it's him.
He's our man.
I don't know why. It's made me want him to be good even more. Just to be like, now in fairness,
Just to get it up, Ike. You don't even
in
know,
fairness, McEntee was slewed by Walsall fans when he joined us. And so far, we'll get to what happened last night. I am confident in my signing of the season prediction.
But I was going to say that's because you're the president of the fan club.
Yes, I am. Correct. I was the proudest moment of my life last night was when they got a standing ovation for running really far, and I took part in it, and it's my favourite reaction in football.
I think his tackle was the first, coincidentally, that was applauded and
Yeah,
just was
exactly.
serenaded by the entire Wheatfield stand.
Correct. I like the look of Magnussen, not just his hairband, but his actual style of play. I did see Irvin Analysis say he watched 3 minutes of him and he feels like he's a pre-injury Peter Haring regen. Basically, and I'm like, well, that sounds right up my street.
Okay, I'm not so sure.
Like, remember pre-injury 2018 Peter Haring? He was in one box, then the other, then back again.
Unfortunately, I remember post-injury Peter Haring.
Yeah, but that's fine. This is pre-injury Peter Haring.
No
he's another
ejections,
option.
please.
Yeah, he's another option in the middle of the park. I didn't think he'd immediately get involved last night. I know he didn't do anything,
Aye.
but still, it's a different player in the middle of the park. He's young. We've given him a decent deal. Welcome, Tam.
Icelandic Tam,
Yeah.
as he'll now be known. Is he? I mean, I'm assuming that he must be, as all our players seem to be, Jamestown identified and all that.
Yes, he is. I think he is the most
The
Jamestown.
epitome of
Yeah, the
Jamestown.
epitome of Jamestown.
The reason that I ask is because Tony Bloom has obviously had his sit-down event.
Right,
with the club
this is what you're all here for. Fuck the game. This is what you're here for.
We'll get to the game eventually. That's just an afterthought.
That doesn't matter.
But of course, unless you've been hiding under a rock in June this year, Tony Bloom completed a deal to buy a 29% stake in Hearts, although his shares do not entitle him to vote on club matters. And he had his first in-person address to supporters. 500 people were there inside the Gorgie Suite. And after thanking the foundation and Hearts chairwoman Anne Budge, he answered questions from club media and then responded to pre-submitted public questions. I'm just going to read this from Barry Anderson's article because we could basically dedicate an episode to Tony Bloom's interview, but the bits are there for you all to read. I just want to get, obviously, McIver's thoughts with some of the claims, which are bold.
Insane.
First, Tony Bloom explained how his investment came about and what he wants to achieve with Hearts, making it clear that he intends to topple Scottish football's Glasgow duopoly of Celtic and Rangers. I've been owner and chairman of Brighton for 16 years, Bloom said. A few years ago, I was looking to get involved with another football club. We looked all over Europe and landed on Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium. That has gone very well, perhaps better than I thought. A couple of years ago, I was thinking of Scotland. Growing up in the 1970s and 80s, it was very different to today. Scottish football was talked about in the newspapers much more than other leagues, Italy, Spain, so I've always followed Scottish football. I like to see the Scottish national team doing well. Growing up, it was always about England. I know that's not quite reciprocated across the border. A lot of you will remember 1986. I'm sorry to have mentioned it, but somebody scored two late goals.
I can't
I've
believe, by the way, the very first thing he ever said to us was mention 86. I'm thinking, alarm bells are going here. Is this a Hibs psyop that actually has been put up to something? The rest was fine, but I started to get a wee bit worried. It's like, Tony, what are they doing?
However, your Hibs psyop theory was put to bed because he then says, I backed Hearts at 8-1 to win the league, and going into the last game, it was looking very pretty. Needed against Dundee, and it didn't quite happen. I believe I can make a difference here. I don't want to see a league dominated by two teams. I did look at clubs in Scotland. As soon as I met Anne and looked at Hearts, I knew this was the club I liked to invest in, and here I am today. I think it's really important for Scottish football that it's not just a one or two club show, and it's not going to be from now on. I welcome the investment from other clubs outside the old firm. I think that's really good for Scottish football. It's not good at all that Scottish clubs, historically, have not been doing well in Europe. Well, Tony, I beg to differ because we were the only team that won a couple of games in Europe the season before last. But hey,
You cannot say that after we had the Petro Cup situation.
that lowers the coefficient, such as that Paisley Cup result. So even if you win the league, like Celtic this year, they have to win knockout games to get into the group stage of the Champions League. I'm very confident that the coefficient will change over the next few years. It will be really good for Scottish football. I really hope it will be good news for Hearts. If the level of the league goes up, that will be good for Scottish players and will help the national team. I'm very excited about that challenge. I think the days of it being a two-runner race have gone. Bloom was then asked to reveal his reaction when he learned that his Hearts investment proposal had been backed by 98.5% of Foundation of Hearts members. I was exceptionally pleased. It's an amazingly high percentage, he remarked. I certainly wasn't expecting that. It shows your belief in what I have to offer. I want to thank you all very much for that. The next question put to Bloom referred to him disrupting the status quo in Scotland, and he was asked, what does disrupting Scottish football look like to you? It means that, at the start of each season, the fans and media are not talking about it being a two-runner race. That will not be the case from now on. Every game Heart and Midlothian play in, we will play to win. Every tournament Hearts are in, we are aiming to win it. I accept the fact that when we get into the Champions League, that may be a little bit difficult, he said, to much laughter. But we have to have belief. Big belief in who we are, what we are, our players, our head coach, and everyone at the football club. I think with the squad of player Graham has helped put together under Derek McInnes, I think we will continue to get stronger year on year. McIver, you're shaking your head there. My plums are pumping. What are you thinking?
Please do not take me shaking my head as going, what a fucking idiot. I hope he's wrong.
We're obviously hoping that he's proven right.
I obviously hope he's right this season and we just win the league. I couldn't believe how brazen he was. I saw today, as we record this, Tuesday the 5th, Anthony Brown. He must have met journalists today. He must have done a press conference today because Anthony Brown met him today and he put the question to Bloom going, is the reason you're so brazen about this because of USG? And Bloom answered with basically, yeah. When he took over USG, he wasn't saying any of this kind of stuff. He was just saying about how he wants to bring Union Saint-Gilloise back to where they should be. Again, should be in air quotes because it's that age-old debate in football about where a club should be in a place or you earn it and blah, blah, blah. But that's what he was saying. That's all he said. He never made any grand aspirations about winning the top division or anything like that. But because of how successful it was, and yes, as he said a number of times in the Evening With, to Sky, in the Hearts TV interview, all this kind of stuff, it took them 3 years to get promoted from the second tier. But as soon as they got promoted, it just went like that. Like it just took off. It was immediately they're competing for the league title. All 4 seasons, and then they've won it. So USG is the model that I think Hearts should be most excited by because Brighton's different, Como's different, all that kind of stuff.
When he says that it's taken him by surprise just how well it went.
Yes, exactly. And we are the most comparable club within the model to USG, a very big club whose best days were decades ago and they've had a smattering of successes throughout the years but never quite lived up to the potential of their name. And let's be honest, that is us. Like one major trophy in the last 13 years.
What are you trying to say?
that we've had one major trophy in 13 years. I the main. I mean, you've not got to the main quote yet, but the main thing that stood out to me is the sentence: "We go into every competition to win." I'll hold my hands up and admit that when we get to the Champions League, I'm not saying we'll win that. It was the blasé nature of when we get to the Champions League. It's not even making a claim. It's not him setting out his stall going, I'm going to get Hearts to the Champions League. To him, it is an expectation that we will get to the Champions League. That blows my mind. Because for me, actually, you say the main quote he said, and then I'll get to this kind of summing up point.
I mean, I don't have it in front of me because, again, I thought we'll just crop this. But
I know I know it.
I'm paraphrasing, but I think
Yeah.
it was something like, I will be very disappointed if we don't win a league title within the next 10 years.
At least one title in the next 10 years. And listen, say we get to 2035.
Strap yourselves in, guys.
I know. Say we get to 2035 and we've not won a league. Say we get to 2035 and we've not won a Scottish Cup. Say we get to 2035 and we've won a League Cup or a Scottish Cup, or say we get to 2035 and have won nothing. But in that decade, we have become clearly Scotland's third best team. And since, let's just even give them benefit of the doubt and give them a couple of seasons for this to go, from the 27-28 season to 2034-35, we have finished third every single season. To me, that's a success, because that's what I want Hearts to be. I want us to be the third best team. Please, for the love of God, do not get me wrong. If we won one League Cup, this is an unmitigated success, right? Wait, fuck it. Right now, I'd take a League Cup before I take anything else, because I just want to fucking win this thing. It would
be great to shut that down to, like,
it would be amazing.
Hibs fans, Aberdeen fans, whoever.
It has never once, with the whole summer and last season of Tony Bloom's involvement, the idea of winning a league never slightly came into my head. That's why I said I've never had this much positivity being a Hearts fan and optimism, but I've also probably never had this much trepidation, because he has set himself up for the biggest fall, because everybody now is going, see when, right, for example.
I'm not entirely sure about that. I think when we replaced an admin, there was a heck of a lot more trepidation than what we're currently going through.
Trepidation, I mean, from comments, not a situation.
Sure.
Not the actual situation. Yeah, of course. But trepidation, I don't think that's big enough a word for when we're in it.
I'll believe it.
Shit scared was probably more apt. But if we'd got beat last night, the entirety of Scottish football would have been like, oh aye, how's that league title charge going? The first time we lose, because we're going to get beat this season. We're going to get beat in stupid games. We're going to drop points in stupid games. And every single time. Yeah, exactly. But now, it's like what Danda said last season, where it was like, we feel like we can split the Old Firm, then we finish 7th. Every time we bottled games, like the Ross County game, Danda's quote was just put everywhere. This is that on steroids. This is that to another level. Do I think what he said can happen? No. But do I think we can get close to it, which is more than I ever dreamed? Yes.
Okay. Because again, I've seen the comparisons with Romanov, and that's just a lazy argument as far as I'm concerned, because Romanov made these claims but was a complete nutter. Whereas
and
Tony
kept
Bloom,
interfering as well,
exactly,
was the biggest thing.
Tony Bloom has actively said he's taken a back seat and has a proven track record of basically a portfolio of an English club, an Italian club, a Belgian club that are rising through the ranks, competing with big boys, selling players on that they pick up for next to no money, for astronomical fees, and you just keep recycling, keep going again. I think it's very lazy to pin both Bloom and Romanov side by side.
Agreed.
This feels like a sane Vladimir Romanov in
Yeah.
terms of the quotes that he's coming out with, but the kind of backup where you feel as though it could potentially happen. That's not to
Mhm.
say that it will, but I'd feel a heck of a lot more confident placing my trust and my belief in Tony Bloom than I would Vladimir Romanov.
And also, right?
And it's easy to say that after the event, but the facts are as clear as the night sky.
Yeah. As we're saying, the thing that fucked it with Romanoff was that he wanted to be the centre of attention. He was like, I'm Mr. Hearts, look at me. So when Burley was getting all the praise, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you not playing Best Legia? And all that kind of shit. Or why are you not playing Chesney? It's like, because we're playing Julian Borelli. Shut up, Vladimir.
Vladimir.
Whereas the biggest potential issue, I think, this time is our fan base who are not known for patience. Because it's now he said this. If he said this to Brighton fans, or he said this to USG fans or Como fans, they would have had probably a sane reaction to it and gone, right, okay, he said this, but let's give it a bit of time. Hearts fans are told that, and are starting making the flags for next season for the flag day, right? You mention the player trading model. That is the ticket to this, because we're never going to compete with the old firm in terms of budgets, much like USG don't compete with Anderlecht, Genk, Club Bruges in terms of budgets, but the player trading model is what does it. But there is always going to be missteps in it. So just now, we signed Braga for $500,000. The hope is he scores 15 goals this season and we flip him for $3 million in the summer. We then then allows us to spend maybe $1 million on the next guy. We then hope to flip him for $5 million, which allows us to spend 2.5 and the next guy flip him for 7. And on and on and on. But there is a point, and my dad made this point, where it's like, that could work. We could sell Braga, next guy up, smashes it. Sell him, next guy up, smashes it. Sell him, spend £5 million on a striker, and he's the one that fucks it. I worry our fan base just go, well, what was the point? We've ruined it. Why did we sell the other guy? And it's like, this is the way that's going to work. And it's like that in every position. Brighton have not just had a forward moving graph in a hill on an upward trajectory. Same with USG. They've made I saw USG in the last 5 years have spent €7 million on strikers and sold them for 85 million. Jesus. But in that was 3 players that they lost money on. But because it was offset by other players, it was okay. I just worry our fan base goes, if we sell Braga at the end of this season and the guy that would replace him with doesn't do well, because if Braga gets 15 goals, he will not be here next season, because that's the model. The model, nobody's getting a testimonial anymore. Nobody's here for longer than 2 years if they're exceptional. If they're solid, they probably will be, because they're not grabbing as much attention. You need to keep players. But Tony Bloom said it in that. Every single summer, Brighton and USG sell their 2 or 3 best players. Without fault. They just do that.
And somehow pluck out replacements that are adequate from, I don't know,
wherever.
The Estonian third tier.
Exactly. We're never going to see Kabore ever, by the way. He is never getting in.
He is ripping the piss out. He must want the keys to Edinburgh. Like, he's been here for a good, what, month?
But in fairness, he's Guinea-Bissauian and was playing in the Estonian third division. I don't think you need to be an expert on passports and visas to know it's probably quite complicated to get a guy a visa to get into Scotland to work, right? I understand that, but I am now just kind of accepting he's never going to fucking be here.
It's the same, can I just say, the build-up with, like, Chesnikov. You just know so well he's going to be rotten now, don't you? Like, we've been mouthing off about how he's a Kazakhstani international winger. He'll get here, he'll be minced, he'll be written off immediately, and to be never seen again.
I just hope that our fan base doesn't just go, oh, well, we've not immediately challenged the old firm, or we have one season where we go third, 5th, because something just goes wrong. I hope folk to go, well, that's it. Let's sacrifice the whole fucking thing. Where's Tony Bloom's algorithms now? That's my only fear I have.
We're all in. We're riding this roller coaster. It's funny you say that, because again, I'm just thinking back. Brighton didn't even win the championship under Tony Bloom's tenure, did they? Did they not finish runners-up to Newcastle?
Yeah, to Newcastle on the last day. Newcastle won on the last day and they went up.
So it doesn't matter how you get there, just as long as they
Yeah,
get there. Um, and the first step in getting there was a 2-0 victory over Aberdeen, with the Tony Bloom era kicking off, the Derek McInnes era kicking off, Monday Night Football, the Scottish Premiership returning. What a time to be
it's
alive.
the best. And all the
Um,
wins of the world as well.
all, all the wins of the world. It was a good time. Derek McInnes handed Scottish Premiership debuts to three summer signings, another making his first league start for the Jambos. Xander Clark was chosen between the sticks as Stuart Finlay, Craig Halkett, and Frankie Kent made up the centre back trio. Harry Milne started at left wing back, with Christian Borchgrevink starting at right wing back. Cammy Devlin and Oisin McEntee, thank you to Nigel, a
Yeah,
Hearts supporting Irishman by the name of Onside Jerseys on Instagram, who messaged me as we are trying to get the correct pronunciation. Oisin McEntee. Hope that's right,
Machine.
Nigel.
Thank you.
Please feel free to message me if it's not. Started alongside Blair Spittle in the middle of the park, with Claudio Braga accompanying Lauren Shankland in attack. What did you make of that starting 11, McIver? You pretty much called the shape and weren't too far off in terms of personnel.
I was one off because I just hoped Benny would be fit.
As
I
we all
was,
do,
yeah,
every single week.
I was very happy with it. I thought it
Even
would,
more so after that performance, can I just say?
yeah,
Because two out of the three in the midfield were fantastic for me.
yeah,
The other, it's just like, what are we doing here?
yeah, agreed. Even then, I thought he was fine. I thought he was
I really did.
fine. But yeah, just I thought it worked. I thought it would work well. It did end up working well. Um, it's just, and also a big thing. It's a weird thing to focus on after you've just asked my thoughts about the team that started. But it was just nice looking at a bench, going, "Oh, there's depth. We've actually got depth that I can turn to and not be terrified about."
It's nice to see a 3-5-2, how I would want to see a 3-5-2 actually play out in comparison to previous seasons. But you mentioned the bench there: Ryan Fulton, Stephen Kingsley, Michael Steinvender, Sander Khartoum, new boy Thomas Magnuson, Elton Kabangu, Alexandros Kizaridis, Alan Forrest, and James Wilson on the bench for the Jambos. Coincidentally, Hearts players not in the squad included Craig Gordon, who's obviously injured, Jamie McCart, again injured, Benny Beningame and Callum Neunhoff, both of whom are returning from injury, the suspended duo Jan Danda and Saba Kirjota, Finlay Pollock, who again is injured, Adam Forrester, who appears to be heading to St Johnstone on loan, Musa Drama, and Kenneth Vargas. The squad is big. We've had a couple incomings, to say the very least. I'd like to see a couple outgoings prior to the window closing. How confident are you that that will be the case?
Very, but how many I'm confident about, I don't know. We've got once Kabori, if he ever does sign.
Which
Uh,
you won't.
we'll have a squad of 32. And I think you
That
kind of
is
max.
huge.
Yeah, max you want like 25. Do I think we'll get rid of 7 players? No. But
I think we do well to get rid of 3 or 4.
I think we'll definitely get rid of 3 or 4. Even if you just include like Forrester's going out on loan.
Who would be your three? So
Forrester, Musa, Vargas. I think none of them will play for us again.
I'm intrigued about Khartoum as well. I wouldn't be
The
surprised if
the
he plays.
next group that I wouldn't be
Go on.
surprised would be Danda, Khartoum, and one of the centre halves. But
Oh,
with
interesting.
Forrester leaving, Steinvender's kind of the one. I'm not saying I want this, by the way. I don't want Steinvender to leave at all. But I think out of all of them, he's probably the one most likely. But if Forrester leaves, he's covering the right. So therefore, maybe not. Maybe Forrester leaving is the thing that keeps Steinvender here.
The
Um,
top heavy structure, last in, first out, cheated by.
yes, exactly. Aye. But I can see all 5 of them at least, and a centre half probably going. I did see McKinnon's go. If the window closed now, it would be a disaster. So we're just spending the entirety of August focused on outgoings.
Which is music to my ears, given the squad size and
Yeah,
where like we could be eating up Tony Bloom's 10 mil by the time next season comes around at this rate with the amount of wages that we'll be paying out.
yeah, exactly.
Given that squad. Um, in terms of the start that Hearts made, it was pretty emphatic actually, kind of
Yeah,
aggressive, on the front foot, in your face. And it didn't take long for the Jam Tarts to take the lead. The heavy touch from Graham Shinnie is pounced upon by a Sheen McEntee in the middle of the park. Blair Spittle then lobs it out to Claudio Braga on the right hand side. The Portuguese attacker, who is all we need, in case you didn't already know,
The
twists and
best
turns.
chant of all time.
Oh, incredible. Matt's Nooster inside out. He then clips for McAtee to head at Dimitar Mitov before the Dons eventually scramble clear. Cammy Devlin opts to shoot, plays a genius pass to McEntee, who deflects it out to the left hand side. Harry Milne drives the ball across goal, and birthday boy Graham Shinnie slots into his own goal to give Heart and Midlothian the lead. Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0.
I really liked that Shinnie started and ended the move as well.
Yeah,
Really
it's
nice wee
great.
thing there. There was a moment about 6 minutes in where Braga came down the right hand side, the near side to our stand, and Shinnie won a goal kick off him, and he like celebrated to the
I
Aberdeen
saw that.
fans, kind of that. And then 10 minutes later, he scores an own goal, and it was like, oh, well done, Graham, you got your goal kick,
He
amazing,
really is a
mate.
wanker, isn't he?
Oh my god, I can't even believe he's only 34. He feels like he
I
should be
know.
about 40.
It feels like he's been around forever.
Yeah, but I was at it. This is not the focus point that most people would go on. I thought Devlin's hit was really good, but McAtee's just kind of in the way. But it's like, that's Cammy Devlin doing that. That's
I
not
know.
like a forward or anybody who looks like they've previously kicked a ball in the direction of their goal before. That's Cammy Devlin. He's an all
Development,
action midfielder now.
the development in Cammy Devlin from when we first signed him is
Mad.
unbelievable. Like
Absolutely insane.
it really is. He's one of the first names on the team sheet for me.
He's been
Without a shadow of
arguably
a
man
doubt.
of the match in every competitive game we've played this season.
I was about to say probably one of our three standout performers last
Yep.
night. I would go along
I
with
thought
that.
he was the best player in the park. Him and McEntee, for me, were the two best players in the pitch. I thought
I thought Harry Milne was
Harry
great.
Milne was excellent. Craig Halkett, once again, I will say it again, our best defender when fully fit. He was a colossus, the irony being that he's no longer the size of one. But, Jesus, man. Like,
It's amazing what happens when you cut the takeaways out, isn't it, Craig?
it's
It really
crazy.
is.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
it's not like you could have done that for the entire duration of your deal
No,
or
I
anything.
respect that he
Is
didn't.
it only until you notice that you've got a year left on your deal and
Yeah,
think, oh shit, I might actually have to get my arse in gear here.
I respect
Otherwise, I
it
could be out the
massively.
door.
Respect it
Unbelievable.
hugely. It makes me love him even more. What a boy. He was excellent last night. But Devlin, McInnes said in his press conference that he's like, he loves Devlin, and that everybody joked being like, he's basically a custom built Derek McInnes player. And he is. And I'm just so chuffed for him. But it is like McInnes's development with him in a very short time is like, he's taught Devlin how to shoot. Or like, in 9 times out of 10 in previous years, Devlin's first thought there is to trap it and look for who's
Or
alongside of him.
look for some pass.
Yeah.
Hope that somebody's up alongside him to
Yeah,
then give it
exactly.
onto them.
But he's just like, no, I'm running onto this. I'm going to hit it. Harry Milne is just incredible. Oh my God.
How has he been playing at such a low level? For
No
this
idea.
long? Baffling.
He does so well. And I think Braga was really good here. He gets a wee bit of luck that the guy slips, but I think it comes for his pressure. And interestingly, about 5 minutes before that, we were in a very similar situation. Braga was up against him and stopped. And I think it was a moment where he was like, oh, I'm not going to get the same time that I got
He was
against
just
him.
ushered out, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Where he basically had beaten the guy, then he stopped and went to basically beat him again. It's like, no, just you need to realise that the speed of this game is higher and that this is the actual level that the Scottish Premiership's at. And then the next time he did it, he did that. And I was like, that's good that in a single moment you're learning. McEntee's desire, he get in for the header is amazing. He just wins everything. McEntee, the whole game just felt like he won everything. A really good goal. I know it's obviously the luck is that it just hits off Shinnie, but it's that chaos factor in the box that creates moments like that.
100%. It's a combination of the overload for me, and ultimately at the start of last season, we didn't have anything like that come off for us, which is why we made such a shit start. So I will gladly accept that on the basis that we make a decent start for this campaign.
Yeah.
You mentioned McEntee there. Hearts come forward again just a couple of minutes later. Borchgrevink lumps along to McAtee before Claudio Braga eventually intercepts. He twists, he turns, he opts not to play the pass out to Harry Milne, even though he's in acres of
Yeah.
space on the left-hand side. It breaks them anyway, thankfully, and the fullback cracks an effort off the crossbar. I thought it was in.
Same.
I was devastated as soon as I saw it smash off Mitov's crossbar. But I think that is just music to my ears that even despite the fact that we've taken such an early lead, our immediate thought is, right, let's go again. Let's get a second.
Yeah.
Let's get a third. This is what I've been missing for yonks.
Yeah, definitely. Milne, I'm worried what happens if he gets hurt. But
Oh, they were fucked.
yeah, but he just is like, oh yeah, we've forgotten about Penrice. Much like when Penrice came in, we forgot about Cochrane. Exactly. Like, I can't believe how well he's done.
Sorry, Luke, if you're listening.
Yeah, still
We
love
love
you,
you,
Luke.
really. Yeah.
Muddled my hair off you. But I'll be, listen, if you've listened to this podcast for any period of time, I don't think it's a sin on me to say that I don't really know about the lower leagues of Scottish football, right? But I didn't know anything about him when he signed, apart from
He
just,
was playing part-time previously for Cove.
and Partick Thistle fans seemed to be gutted he was gone. So I was like, well, that's a good sign. But he's shocked me so much because when you get guys like Braga, Kizaridis, Kirjota, new guys coming in from other leagues, you're like, oh, well, you're excited and know nothing about them, so you're excited. Whereas Milne is just like, oh, it's just a guy coming up for our leagues.
Such an under-the-radar signing, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's just like, yeah, okay. Like, fine.
Whatever, cool.
It's a depth signing, and then you realise, oh no, this guy is the real deal.
He's class.
You mentioned kind of the reaction of various players when they leave their clubs and fans kind of tweeting out, and you get that sort of reaction. That was evident for when Aberdeen signed their centre forward during the summer because Kusini Yenge wasn't fondly thought of by Portsmouth fans. I think it's fair to say. And having watched him for 90 minutes, I could see why. On 15 minutes, Nicholas Milanovic, who I thought was Aberdeen's bright light.
Was that number 11?
Yes, on the right
Yeah,
hand
he
side.
was the best player by a mile.
By a million miles.
Yeah.
He comes forward in a rare Aberdeen attack, centres for his compatriot Kusini Yenge, but he hits the post after
Somehow.
one of the weirdest efforts I think I've ever seen, because he doesn't get any clean contact whatsoever. Time just appears to slow down throughout the ground.
Xander
And
dives
before you know
after it hits the post.
Yeah, it was really strange, but a massive let off for us, because if he gets a solid strike at goal, I mean, he's yards out, it's surely one each.
This isn't the one that I think he should be as criticised for.
No.
Because it kind of just fizzes into him. If I remember rightly, Halkett's in front of him, so he's probably thinking, right, okay, this is go to... Or a defender or somebody, I think, is like... He's caught unsighted. So I think by the time it gets to him, he's like, oh shit, it's here. So it kind of just hits him. But it was very much the audition for what would happen later on. He just looked uncomfortable. I will say this is a weird comparison, but I feel like the player I was probably the least confident in last season was Borchgrevink, because I felt like in the first half, every time he got the ball, he was a bit panicked and a bit like he just every touch was a bit like, right, I need to do something now kind of thing. It's
I didn't think he started well at all.
Yeah, just calm down. It's okay. Whereas, but then I felt like Borchgrevink did come into the game.
Definitely great.
And it was, 100%. Whereas Yengi just looked terrified at all times. And it's like, he's a big guy. I thought he would... I thought he would really cause this problem. It was unbelievable. Massive. And he's not... Like, for example, Killiov signed that Marcus Dackers, right? Who's 6'7", and I had him in an FM save and loved him. But the funny thing about him was he's 6'7", but his strength was like 9. Like, he doesn't have a lot of strength to go with him. Yeah, he's just a very tall, lanky guy. Whereas Yengi is tall, but is a unit. Like, so I was like, oh God, right, okay, we're going 3 at the back. He's going to try and isolate somebody. And it was like, he doesn't look like he's ever played near this level. And that's before we even get to what happens in the second half.
Oh, I listened to Craig Levein, and I thought what he said was really intriguing. He said that he was watching him up against Halkett, and despite Craig Halkett getting the better of him, he still didn't decide to go to either Frankie Kent or Stuart Finlay.
Yeah,
Because surely then, as you say, it's not as though he's small. He's a big boy, but
yeah.
I mean, he's the type of centre forward that we would have dished out a three,
Well, we
4 year
nearly
deal
did. He
to
turned us
years
down.
ago,
If you listen to
which is
reports, we wanted to
mental.
get him, and he chose Aberdeen, and that then allowed us to go and get Braga.
Thank God. Um, yeah, did not cover himself in glory at all. Maybe that was it. He was just overawed by the occasion and
Maybe.
his potential employers he wanted to impress, and he certainly did not. On 27 minutes, Blair Spittle's delivery from a free kick is a poor one. Adil Aushish nods clear, the young Frenchman who
I thought it
signed the
would,
goal
I
for us.
prefer to think it's Aoyachichi. I prefer that.
Auchichi, I'll go with that.
I like that more. It's probably
Auchichi.
wrong, but Aochichi is a way more exciting way to say it.
Adil Auchichi
That's
nods clear.
class. That is
Yeah.
a class name.
Gabby Devlin eventually gathers, finds Stuart Finlay, who just creeps up on the left flank,
No
and
idea what's going on.
no idea what he's doing there. He centres for fellow defender Frankie Kent, but the Englishman nods wide from close range. How can Stuart Finlay put a better ball into the box than Blair Spittle?
I literally said to
How?
my dad, I turned to my dad and went, that was Finlay who played that boy.
Oh, I love that he's up there. No idea what he's doing up there.
Nah,
But how can his cross be a better one than Blair Spittle's initial one?
no
And
idea.
and Spills is a fucking dead ball.
Yeah.
So even then, it should be easier.
Oh, God. We've moved past the need for Blair Spell.
We really have. Last night was so apparent for me. It was like Devlin and McEntee are two complete dogs. I know that's really disrespectful, but they covered every blade of grass. They
Yeah.
were everywhere. They were physical. They were a nuisance. They were pests. I watch Blair Spittle and I just think it just gets slowed down so much. And immediately, his first thought isn't to play a ball forward. It's to fucking centre half to try and look good. That will not appease me. That will not appease the crowd that you're playing in front of. I'm sorry. We have moved past Blair Spittle as far as I'm concerned.
I didn't think he was that bad, but I
He
did think
was.
it was obvious whenever it got to him. It was kind of like, oh yeah, this is last season. Then when it was
Yeah.
like to Braga, to Finlay, to this
You
new
found yourself getting
Shankland,
excited.
it
It
was
was
like,
like,
oh,
here we
we're
go,
doing
here we go.
stuff. Yeah, McEntee and all that.
Oh, good lord. You mentioned Christian Borchgrevink growing into the game, and I do agree with you. Doesn't cover himself in glory on 41 minutes as he swipes a wild effort over the bar with Harry Milne's delivery. Again, kind of looking to combine the wing backs, looking to provide for one another. He did grow into it, but it's harsh to say. But when you've got Milne on the other side, that like he was
There's
never
always
going to
going to
be
be a
the outstanding.
disparity.
Yeah, the
You're
outstanding defender.
never, especially at the club the size of Hearts, you're never going to get a Trent Robertson situation where both your fullbacks slash wing backs are just both class, both flying, both doing everything they can. But I do think he came into it. He is coming back from a very, very big injury, and it's in a completely different league, on a completely different surface that he's used to. So I think he will be very good for us. I just think he's going to take a wee bit of time to get used to it.
So die. And on 43 minutes, sadly, the
Oh,
Jambos couldn't make it 2-0 before half-time, despite the ball being in the back of the Aberdeen net for the second time. A corner from the right-hand side is cleared before Harry Milne sends a missile up the park. Ushin, sorry Nigel, McEntee flicks on to Craig Halkett, who finds himself still up there. Frankie Kent gathers, passes to Lauren Shankland again. Big fan of just give it to the better players and watch them do their thing. As he curls a cracker into the top corner, but the officials rightfully disallow the goal with Halkett offside. Lauren Shankland even pointing out during his celebration to
yeah,
Frankie Kent that that's the case. And Kent also offside, I think, after McEntee's flick on.
yeah.
I know they reached the correct conclusion, but why it takes so long, I simply do not know. And I'm going to come out and say this now. I did not miss moaning about referees and officiating during the summer, but Nick Walsh, who I have consistently slated and deemed the worst referee in Scotland, again proved my point, and he should be public enemy number one as far as I'm concerned.
He knew it was on the telly, so everybody's watching him, so he had to make
Gelled
it about
his
him.
greasy hair.
Like I just, there was so
Oh,
many moments where he was just getting guys to come and stand at him at a specific angle before they
oh.
were allowed to go, and the bookings to Kent and Halkett are farcical. The fact that Yengi doesn't get booked for his foul on Borchgrevink.
Mental, considering that they basically do the Canadian barn dance. But when Willie Miller is coming out and saying that Frankie Kent's booking against Aberdeen is a bad one, then you know that the referee has had an absolute nuke. Honestly, he tried his absolute damnedest to ruin that season opener last night.
There was a
Thankfully, he didn't, but he was very close to doing so.
there was a period between the 60th and 70th minute where I was like, he is willing them to score here. Like every
Oh,
time they went down, he gave it someone. But listen, we're in the stadium, so we don't know that about Shanks. So I just thought he was being cocky and wasn't he celebrating. I thought he was just kind of like, well, hey. But yeah, you watch it back, and the first thing that happens is Shankland just turns to Kent and goes, Halks is offside. And you see Kent just be like, no, what do you mean?
Frankie Kent's got to be a better actor because, like,
I know,
just play
exactly.
it off.
Yeah,
Just
just
kid
it's
on
fine.
that
It's
you've
fine.
not heard that.
It's a ridiculous hit. A fucking ridiculous hit. And I'm just going to focus on the fact that it's like, we never really saw anything like that from last season. First game,
Oh,
get it
would
in your
be
head.
So good.
I hope he
know.
just keeps it in his head that he's like,
Yeah.
well, I've scored that, so I can do that again.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
If he's level on goals with somebody for the Golden Boot come the end of the season, you know
That
for
should
well he's
count.
claiming that Golden Boot. Yeah.
It should, because goals that good should just be allowed to count. It doesn't matter what happens.
Half time, 1-0 up, heading into the break. The far dominant team,
Aye.
Aberdeen not really looking threatening, bar that one Yengi opportunity. What was your thoughts on the first 45? Dominant, in control, just hopeful that we grab a second and seal the deal?
Pretty much exactly that. I thought we were comfortable. I thought we were good. Clark didn't have pretty much anything to do apart from that Yengi chance that went off the post. But at 1-0, and the fact that they will have been buoyed by that disallowed goal, because if we get that goal, that's probably, if Shankland's goal counts, sorry, that's probably it. The game's probably dead and gone. But because of that, you're like,
they've got that glimmer of hope or
they've
whatever.
got that hope. And also, something I picked up at the game, at half time, not a single Aberdeen player went out to warm up.
Yeah, I wondered about that. That was weird.
I don't know if it was just Talene being like, fucking everybody get in here now. That was shocking. I'm going to shout at you all. But whatever it did, it kind of worked, because I felt like in the second half we weren't really at it as well. I understand everybody just being like wall-to-wall positivity, but the positive that I take most from last night is that I didn't even think we were that good. I thought we were comfortable. I thought we were composed, and we never, if you take your Hearts hat off, we never really looked in much danger of scoring. But I think there is so many more gears for us to go into.
That's probably what excites me most of all. I mean, I did not think that Aberdeen were good last night. I
No, they
really
were
didn't.
terrible.
And I think it was reflective of kind of my pre-match thoughts, which were Hearts have had these competitive games to get up to speed. They've done their prep. You could tell that was Aberdeen's first competitive game of the season.
Yes. They've only played 3 friendlies.
Which again, like, I even think back
and they
to our
played
season,
Cove,
which was Leyton Orient, Tottenham, and Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And that did not bode well.
No,
so
they've played
good luck,
Cove,
Aberdeen.
Fulham, and Ipswich. So it's like, what a weird collection of teams as well. It's not even like you can kind of base yourself off certain levels. It's like a team that they should beat, which they did, and then 2 teams which they should get beat off, which they did. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, that's not a pre-season to me.
No, it is kind of weird. And when you've got that Thursday, Sunday,
it's exactly what we were last season.
I'm hoping for a 7.
I hope so. Yep, I hope so. Yep.
And with Cassini Yengi up front, there's every chance that will be the case. As on 49 minutes, Leighton Clarkson whips in a lovely ball from an Aberdeen free kick. And just like in the first half, had Cassini Yengi had his shooting boots on, then we're pegged back as he somehow misses from literally yards out. It's a weird contact because he's kind of on the volley.
It's like his
But Jimmy
calf.
Sanderson, yeah, like Jimmy Sanderson literally says it in Hearts TV commentary. That is harder to miss. It's actually
Yeah.
harder to miss than it is to score. He is a big hoodie.
Sutton said you should be going with your head there every day of the week. Like if you add your foot in
Diving header.
or your leg, it adds an element of unpredictability. Whereas in that position, if you make contact with your head, it's going in.
Interesting. I mean, I'm not listening to Sutton after he dismissed Tony Bloom's mad ideologies,
Can
so
we just say, when did Chris Boyd become our biggest fucking fan?
I know I couldn't believe it either. I was genuinely astonished. I'm thinking, go on, Boyd, like,
But he
do
also
it.
tipped us to finish third, Shankland to win Golden Boot, and said that we might win the Scottish Cup. What has happened, Chris?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't understand.
Has Tony Bloom bought Chris Boyd?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
happened
Yeah,
here?
he's got a PR machine just sat on the Sky Sports panels. It's in the moment the linesman gives it as offside, but I think if it went to VAR, it would have been allowed because I think Kent plays him on. So it is just a categorically horrific miss. So way.
Yes, we will certainly not complain. Aberdeen, as you rightly say, had obviously taken Jimmy Tillion's words on board. On 52 minutes, Blair Spittle slips and concedes possession as the Dons come forward. Nielsen finds Milanovic out on the flank. He drives at Stuart Finlay, eventually cuts inside, gets Aberdeen's only shot on target away at goal. However, Xander Clark parries and Hearts clear through a poor Halkett header and a Sheen McEntee. Um, just really, really poor. I like
Yeah, we
you
just
would
didn't
not
really
have
get going.
you would not have thought that that was I was meaning Aberdeen that they were the cup holders like
Yeah, sorry.
really poor.
I thought you meant us
But I do
defensively
agree
in
with you
that chance.
with regards to the second half because I don't think we had too many opportunities really.
Nah.
We didn't need
But
to.
that's what I was going to say. I don't want people to think I'm sat here being like, actually, last night wasn't very good. It was excellent. Because if that's our
A perfect
basement,
start.
that's amazing. Like, and that's kind of the biggest positive I take from it, where it's like, I don't think we were that good and we didn't need to be, and we still comfortably won. But yeah,
No.
like, I think what the cup win did for Aberdeen, completely understandably, is just reset every Aberdeen fan's mind about this season, where it was like,
Yeah.
oh, actually, we're going to still be class, like it's fine. Ignoring the latter half of the season where they were absolutely awful.
I did see some Aberdeen fans post. I think it was like however long without a league win, and they'd got it over. I think it was it 24 games or something, the last 24 league games,
Right.
and they are sat like bottom. I think they're on something like 22
Yeah.
points from 24 games.
It's
So there
unbelievable.
are a few that haven't quite bought into that, but I do agree. It is like they've just been brainwashed, and it is
Which I
like
get. I
yeah.
completely understand. If last season
I'd be
Critchley had won
guilty
the
of it.
cup,
Oh,
we would be like,
100%. We'd be in a far different place
yeah.
like then than we are now. Um,
Still
I don't
doesn't
know.
stop it being funny, though.
No, that's what I was going to say. Do you think weirdly the semi-final defeat was a blessing in disguise
It's
for
one of
us?
the things in it where it's like I said a thing where Tony Bloom will be secretly buzzing. The season before he officially got involved, we finished seventh. Because then he can be like, look at the progress we've made in such a short amount of time.
It should quote should be an improvement.
Yeah, and it's like he's probably thinking we'll never be that low again, like fucking ever. So yeah, it could be one of those moments where in the moment it was hell and gut wrenching and ended the season, but the level of optimism now, would it have happened the same way? You never know. That's just the way football is.
100%. And we never will know ultimately that everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer. 57 minutes, Harry Milne heads over the bar after initially starting a Hearts attack, receiving from Spittle again. He pops up in bizarre places. I love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely
he's
love
great.
it. His hunger, not just at signing for the club, because he I remember us talking about it on the podcast. It was literally like he won the lottery. He could
Yeah.
not believe his luck that he was signing for Hearts. But he's just desperate to make an impression. I love that.
Yeah.
And fans ultimately can look beyond poor performances. If you're giving it your absolute maximum, 100%, then I have no qualms as to how you get on. That could have been the case for Milne last night, Devlin, McEntee, Braga, whoever.
Braga's who I was going to focus on because Braga, and then when he came on, Kizaridis, there's like a stereotype in your head for a forward.
Kizaridis and Forrest, I thought were both
Yeah,
really good at
Forrest
the
as
game.
well. There's a stereotype I think people have in your head if you're a football fan, which is very fair, is that defenders and defensive midfielders are going to be more hard working than midfielders and forwards. And especially like wide players, flair players, and stuff like that. The biggest thing that I'm so impressed with Braga and Kizaridis especially because Kizaridis comes with an attitude that I mean, you saw his flick last night, where he's just like, I am going to take the piss here. I'm just going to do whatever I want. And that is emblematic of, like, in my head, a Rudy Scaccio who never crosses back into his own half because he's like, you can fuck off if you ain't come down running. Kizaridis was defending our near corner flag to prevent a corner happening.
Yeah.
Braga is still running channels whenever we ask him to. It's an indication of the standards at the club where it's like, I do not care how good you are. There are minimum standards of running, of tracking, of endeavour you have to hit. And again, it comes easy for guys like Devlin literally said in his press conference after Sunday where he was like, all I was told was be aggressive, and that is the best thing you can tell me to be because I want to be aggressive anyway. But other guys, it's even more impressive that like Kizaridis, a wee Greek winger who's flashy, has come in, and one of the biggest things I can take from him is that he's like, I'm going to track 80-yard runs.
Yeah, phenomenal work rate, and ultimately that appeases to the supporters. I know that foreign boys will be quick to or keen to make an impression, I should say, quickly. If you give it absolutely everything, then you'll win me over.
We
and
are
I'm sure
so
most of the
easy to
fans
please,
over.
man, as a fan base.
Exactly.
McEntee got a standing ovation for running in the 85th minute. Like,
Exactly. McIver, the first tackle we won, the place genuinely erupted.
Yeah.
I turned and said to my mate, I thought, this is great. I love
Yeah.
being back. Like, we've not even scored yet, and the place is literally like jumping.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And 17, 18 minutes from time, the results put beyond doubt. Harry Milne, again, excellent throughout. Clips a free kick into the box. Thank God it wasn't Blair Spittle. Unintentionally flicked on by an Aberdeen defender. And Stuart Findlay is clattered by Dimitar Mitov as he nods past the Bulgarian into the net. Big Stu, that will most certainly do. Again, I love the celebration. All his teammates immediately heading on over. He's lay on the ground. He's just rewarded for his bravery. There's a couple typewriters on his chest and whatever. But ultimately, you've been made a very happy man, Mr. McIver.
Thank God own goals don't count as first goal scorer. Get in, Stu. I never doubted your signing. I've always been a massive fan of you. Come on, mate.
You're full of shit.
I love, by the way.
Is that why? Was that like that was
Yeah.
the thinking? It's a consolation that Adam's ultimately proven right. But I'll make money.
But I've benefited massively from it. I can do
I
that.
like it. I don't mind the logic. It's sick, but I don't mind it.
£2 on, 82 back. Thank you very much. Love and life. I love Halkett's celebration because it's like a wee boy. He just kind of goes, yay! And like finger guns to the sky. It's hilarious.
It's like a school tourney.
Yeah, exactly. It's very brave. He does just get clattered. I don't really know what Mitov's doing in that moment.
And we both rate Dimitar Mitov as well.
I know.
I think
Yeah.
he's an excellent goalkeeper, but yeah, really, really strange.
I don't know what he's doing, but I'm buzzing about it.
I'm taking to Stuart Findlay. I said
He just looks
when
very
left,
good.
when he left Kelly to go to Philly that I wanted us to sign him, but there's just something about him. I don't know what it is. I think it's the randomness that he just pops up.
Yeah.
Like we say on the left flank. Like he's another I think that's really appreciative of kind of the opportunity he's been given. And he's made some start. I mean, what's he got? 3 goals in 5 games or something?
I saw a stat. I think Ailey Barber said it. He hadn't scored in 2 years before joining us, and he's got like 3 goals in 5 games.
Love it. But that was ultimately all that she wrote. Heart of Midlothian 2, Aberdeen 0. And again, kind of from Finlay's second goal, or rather the second goal scored by Stuart Findlay, I think it was just really professional in
It
terms of
was
substitutes coming on, just game management, see it out, move on to the next one,
a
pretty much.
professional, comfortable night that couldn't really have gone much better.
No, and this Sunday, the table toppers head to Tannadice to take on Dundee United. The Terrors drew 2-2 with Falkirk in their season opener, but are in action in Austria on Thursday night as they play Rapid Wien in Vienna. How much of a help will that be, McIver?
I guess it all depends on the result. If they shock everybody and get a result, then it's kind of like, oh, they could have massive confidence going in, going, we're at home. It's like whatever we're it's very good that they're away from home. I think
Yes, I
the
think so as well with the
actual
travel and whatever.
yeah, the
Yeah,
physical travel will play a point, but also if they get beat, you could make an argument going, oh, they're down, then they've got to travel and then play a team that's very confident. However, on the other side of it, you could say if they get beat, then they've got something to prove at home, first home game of the season. I don't know. I do think it will benefit us, and I'm going straight in
oft love it.
2-0.
Bastard. I was going to carry on the 2-0 trend because obviously I did call that against Aberdeen. I was going to do exactly the same. You've thrown me off here because I wasn't expecting that from
No,
you.
I'm just going it.
What,
I'm excited.
what are you hoping for in terms of team selection? Who's going to grab the goals? Who
I would
is Stuart?
start.
Are you going to be placing a couple of quid on
Yes.
Stuart Findlay again?
Yes, I
That's what the
am.
people want to know.
I would start the exact same team.
Don't
Literally the
mind it.
same team.
Yeah, don't mind it.
Um, and I'm going to go Shankland gets to have a goal that counts.
Nice against the former club
Yep.
angle. Yeah, like it.
And I'm saying this in a way that I'll sacrifice my own happiness and financial gain. I think it's just a classic Braga Shankland. The two strikers getting
Nice.
goals,
Both goal scorers, I like it.
just going for it.
Okay. I tell you what. Actually, are you saying that Braga's going to score first?
Yes.
I'm going to clear this up. The punt that I sent McIver
Yep.
pre Aberdeen was Cammy Devlin to be booked, correct. Claudio Braga to score first. Thankfully, didn't come to fruition. Otherwise, it'd have been spewing because I also had Hearts 2-0 on a bet builder, which was 95 to 1 on 365. The relief that it was not Claudio Braga that scored that first, or in this case, second goal, was incomparable because I thought that would have haunted me for the rest of my days. So, Claudio, I
Yeah.
love you. I hope that you get your first at Tannadice. Will I be tempted to back you again for first goal scorer? Probably. Let's be honest. Um, yeah, I'm going with 2-0 as well. I would like to see Blair Spittle come out. I know he's against the former club, and I like the former club angle that you've
Oh
got
yeah, I
from
didn't even
Shankland,
think of that.
but to me, no. If Benny Bingham is back, then he, Devlin, and McEntee.
I worry that's a bit too pedestrian.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just let Benny do what he wants. He can play forward passes. Devlin and McAtee could just bomb on and do whatever. I don't know. I think we're seeing the evolution of Cammy Devlin, as you say, with the
Agreed.
shooting and whatever earlier. McAtee will cover every blade of grass anyway. I don't know, man. I think Benny could be the deepest out of those three, but again, would have no qualms if he goes with the same team. Um, and we're going to say that Hearts will make it 2 wins from 2 in the Scottish Premiership to kickstart the season.
Bloom's in business. We're winning it all.
Nice. Excellent. Um, we'll be back next week to chat about the United game, where hopefully it's 6 points from 6, 2 wins from as many matches. But before we go, we're going to have the end is near
Why
quiz.
have you brought this to? I'm living high. I'm loving life, and now I'm going to do
You're
shite on
really,
this quiz,
yeah,
and it's all going to go wrong.
you're not going to be happy with this quiz.
Oh my
I can
god!
see a mile off. Um, it doesn't matter. I mean, who cares? We're
It's
top
my
of the league.
birthday
How,
next week.
how
Before we next record, it's my
yeah,
birthday,
that's
and you're
true.
doing
That's true.
this.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Listen, Hearts could make or break your birthday. Don't
True.
don't try and
We
fucking
always
pin
win at
this
my
on me.
birthday. We have never, ever. I want to go back, but like when I can think of big games, 5-1 on my 5th birthday. We beat Celtic on my 21st. We always tend to do well at my birthday.
This is why I'm so grateful I have a June birthday. And statistically, my birthday cannot be ruined by Heart of Midlothian.
Yeah.
I'm just having a little look to see. I'm assuming we're odds on. 19 to 20 you can get for Hearts, according to
Wow.
365. That's Interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully that drifts out to evens or what have you. I'm not going to touch Hearts. I never have.
Did
They
not
used to.
do that.
No, I used to see the old man get let down by Hearts.
I mean, in
On
fairness,
like,
you literally did because you had us to win 2-0.
I didn't back it though.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
I called 2-0, but I didn't put my money where my mouth is because I'm a
True.
shitbag in
Very
those things.
true.
I'm not no. Maybe should have taken Devlin, who was somehow 2-1 to be booked. Hello, free money.
Wow.
I know. I mean, he should be odds on, really,
Yeah,
for
that's
being
wild.
honest, every game. Right, end of the year quiz. Sorry, you have a multiple choice, true or false, two normal questions, and the coveted. Who am I? Are you ready?
I am.
You're not gonna like the first question
Oh,
immediately because you said
God.
about the lower leagues.
Oh, my God. Right.
Three former Jambos scored in the SPFL on Saturday afternoon. Can you name them?
I can name one because I didn't know he played for them.
Okay.
Ewan Henderson
Yes.
at Airdrie. Had no idea he played for Airdrie now.
Very good. I believe he signed in the summer. But yes, you are correct.
That's it. Robbie. Oh, no, it's lower leagues because Robbie Muirhead scored, but Livier in our top flight.
And yeah, yeah.
You're not
Do you know
even
what?
giving me that.
No, I will give you that. I'll give you that. If you can name one of the other two, I'll give you that.
Who else are other? But Nikolai Todorov.
I didn't have. Did he score?
He scored for Arbroath against
Did
Ayr.
he?
I watched that game. I messaged you
No, no,
that
no, no,
I
no.
watched that
Hold on,
game.
hold on. On Saturday afternoon. Technically,
Fuck
that's Friday
you.
night.
I can't believe this. I've
That's
ended
Friday
up
night.
doing it. I've
Uh,
done This is going to be my free sass moment,
no,
but it's actual bullshit.
I did specify Saturday afternoon. I mean,
Oh my God, I can't believe I pulled Todorov at my arse. And you're like, nah, you're not getting it. Who are other players that
shall I
play
put
for
your
us?
misery here?
No, I want to think of another player. I want to say a name. Because
Ewan
Carrick left
Henderson.
Stirling.
Ewan Henderson. You're somehow getting Robbie Muirhead, even though totally forgot about him. I'll be honest.
Eh, right. Other players. Did Connor Salmon score for somebody? Who knows? Is Connor Salmon even still playing?
He is.
Is he? Is he playing for?
Alloa.
Does
From
he?
Alloa.
I didn't pay attention to the Alloa score, so I don't know if they. I'm not going to get Connor Salmon.
No, you actually did
Fuck.
mention one. Dale Carrick scored on his Stenhousemuir debut.
Well, this is the thing. I didn't realise he had signed for somebody else. I just thought he'd
Literally
left
the
Stirling.
morning of the game.
Ah,
Scores in
fair
the
enough then.
afternoon. What a guy. And
Well,
Ali
love you,
Roy.
Dale.
Ali Roy for Dumbarton as well.
I was going to say Ali Roy. I don't know
Well,
why
you
I
fucking
didn't.
should have done.
Do you know why I didn't? Because I thought, oh no, it was Cochrane. Cochrane got subbed off for Todorov and they made a joke about like Hearts for Hearts. And in my head, that was Ali Roy that got subbed off.
No, Ali
I
Roy
can't
played
believe
for
this.
Dumbarton
I
in League Two.
named 3 goal scorers and I've not got the point here. This is
Hold on,
shocking.
read the question.
It's
Or
shocking,
listen
man.
to the question.
It's shocking.
Saturday afternoon.
It's a
Question number
disgrace.
2. Hearts last kicked off the campaign with a win against Aberdeen at Tynecastle in the 2003-04 season. But who scored the goals for the Jambos that day? Was it A. Andy Kirk and Mark De Vries?
It
B.
could be.
Phil Stamp and Mark De Vries?
It could be.
C. Phil Stamp and Andy Kirk? Or D. Dennis Winus and Mark De Vries?
Right. Well, I didn't think I was going to get options, and I was going to say Phil Stamp and Andy Kirk. So I'm going with that.
Andy Kirk is correct.
Oh, well, Phil Stamp was my main guy that I was going to be going with, so I would have got it wrong anyway.
After he came off the bench, but it was Mark De Vries that netted the off.
Fair enough. I was like, my first brain went, it's Phil Stamp era. Let's go with Phil Stamp. Fair
De
enough.
Vries and Dennis Winus started up front. Andy Kirk, as I say, coming off the bench to score the second. Kevin McKenna also coming off the bench. Your hero.
Get in.
Question number 3 is your true or false. Xander Clark will go a year without conceding a goal for Hearts in the Scottish Premiership by the time that this weekend's match against Dundee United comes around.
True.
It is true. Could you name the last goal that Xander Clark conceded?
No. The reason I sounded very confident with
I
true.
know. I'm surprised. You've done well there.
I wasn't confident. I was like, that is far too specific for you to make. Because This is how
How
you
mental
do.
is that though? A
That's
year?
insane. That's insane. This is how you do true or false questions. If it's that
Yeah, I
specific,
know.
it's always
I know.
true. If you'd said after last night, if Xander Clark doesn't concede this weekend, it'll be a year. Where it's specific, but you've added a little bit of jeopardy,
Yeah,
that's when
yeah,
it's
yeah.
always false. Because you've been like, it's false, but it will be true because you're a prick like that. I know you now. It's been half a decade of my life getting these, so I've learned.
Jesus, that's wild.
Yeah, I know. The last goal Clark would have conceded, was it at Easter Road?
It was not.
Then I have absolutely no idea.
It was at the disaster class at Dens Park,
Was it the
where we
Gerald
lost
Taylor own
3-1. The
goal and all
Gerald Taylor
that?
own goal and whatever.
Wow. Oh
Which
yeah,
I
because
couldn't
then he
believe.
just got dropped for Gordon, and then he was hurt all the time.
Exactly. And Gordon pretty much occupied their goal for the remainder of the
Yeah.
season. Yeah, I couldn't believe that when Scott messaged me about that.
Wow.
Because that's wild. But yeah, a whole year for Xander Clark. So there you go, the best goalkeeper
Fair
in the
play,
league,
Xander.
confirmed. Um, question number 4. Split over 2 seasons, Hearts have now won 9 competitive matches in a row. Something which Derek McInnes was very keen to mention on BBC Sports Sound. But when was the last time that the Jambos achieved such a feat?
I'm going to say the twin. Do I have to be? How specific do I need to be here? I was going to say the season.
Yeah, I'll give you the season. Yeah,
23-24.
incorrect.
Fuck. I thought we would have done it when we got third. So it must be 21-22.
Incorrect.
What? When was it?
2014-15.
What? When we pissed third under Nielsen when we came back up both times, we never did it.
But it's
Oh, but you're
9
playing
wins in
Rangers,
a row.
yeah, and you're playing Rangers
Yeah.
and Celtic amongst that all the time. Aye, that's a fair point. So in the Championship,
Yes, I can give you the dates from the 31st of January 2015 with a 4-1 win over
God.
Al
So
Athletic.
after we got beat off Falkirk,
Yes.
wow.
Until a 2-1 defeat at Ibrox to Rangers on the 5th of April 2015. Now, we all know what happened at the end of that season. Just saying. Just saying.
And that's, I mean, it's a testament to how shite the COVID season was that we didn't do it in the Championship
Yes.
the second time.
Not necessarily how shite the COVID season was, but how
No.
shite we were during the
During
COVID
the
season.
COVID season, aye. Enough.
Yeah. It's been a
I
tough
didn't
Christmas,
I
however.
didn't get a zero. That's
Exactly.
always what I'm clinging on to.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
had one. That is all I can cling on to.
I was about to say, I think you'll take this regardless because exactly there's too much positivity in it.
Yeah,
If anything, I'm using up the hard questions here,
exactly.
primarily to cover.
Get them out of the way where we've got beat off
I had that
1-0
no.
off Dundee
Yeah.
in October. You can go, what year were Hearts founded? And I'm crying, going, I think I know it. Please let me just have a point.
Gonna get multiple choice.
Exactly.
Right, your infamous "Who am I?"
Right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I played in the last season opener between Hearts and Aberdeen in Edinburgh, making 15 appearances that season as HMFC finished third. I had made my debut at a Premiership away ground, and on the team's next visit there, I scored my first senior goal in a 2-1 victory. A Hearts youth graduate, I found my opportunities limited after a cult hero arrived in Gorgie. I ended up going part-time, signing for a club that I'd previously joined on loan from the Jambos, and my career highlight arguably happened in a successful season for my former club. Who am I?
I've absolutely no idea. I can't remember what you made a point about when it was like the last time we played Aberdeen in the season opener. If you said that was a win or that was the last time we played them in the season opener. So I feel like I'm going to have to go with my classic what years. If it's that 0304 or 0203, whatever you said, I'm not going to get it. If it's what I think it might be and be like 13-14, I might get it. So between what years did this man play for Hearts?
First of all, it's nice to see that you've not been paying attention to my Twitter, as in the preview for this match, I posted out that this is the third time in the 21st century that Hearts and Aberdeen have met in a season opener. The first of which was in 2003-04, and the last one was in 2019-20, as we lost 3-2 at Pittodrie.
I
So this
don't
is
follow you on Twitter.
so this is from 2003-4. This man started his professional career in 1999 and played for Hearts till 2005.
Right, I'm not getting this. So you can all tune out now. By the way, I should have mentioned this before the end of the podcast, but we were in the programme. Perth to Paisley was mentioned in the programme this year, thanks to my
Come on, the
this
boys.
year. This week, thanks to my dad.
Thanks, Graham.
My
Good
dad,
work.
my
Do
dad
more
is
work for the podcast than either of us, so I
yep.
appreciate it.
My dad has
Thanks.
a
Thanks, mate.
weekly section in the podcast, in the programme, and he was speaking about how fan content's changed, and Perth to Paisley got a shout out amongst some terrible Oasis puns. So cheers for that, Dad. Right, 99
You're
to
saying you
05.
definitely maybe won't get this guy.
Right, I might just leave now.
Some might say that they'd be happy with that.
I hate you so much. I absolutely I'm looking back at anger. Right, so
Yes! Come on!
right, Jesus. I'm distracting everybody for the fact I don't even have a single name in my head for who this could be. 99 to 05, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's time you talk tonight.
I know, exactly. Yeah, I know, I've barely said anything. Jesus. I don't know any players from this time period.
The cog's not turning even little by little.
Honestly, I might actually just leave. All that's going through my head is fucking Phil Stamp. That is all that's going through my head. It was not the answer. I don't know anybody.
He was a rock and roll star, that's for sure.
I hate that. This is the worst moment of my life. Oh my god. I might acquiesce away. Right. What clubs did he play for in order? I don't know anybody's clubs at this time.
Heart of Midlothian, Alloa Athletic, St Johnstone, Alloa Athletic, Raith Rovers, East Fife, Bo'ness United, Linlithgow Rose, Armadale Thistle.
I gave you AD White.
Apparently this man is still playing for Armadale Thistle. According to Wikipedia, I don't know if he does.
He's 83.
But considering his playing career started in 1999, that would make him very old.
You said Wraith, and my brain just went, it's Colin Cameron. Colin Cameron
never mind the fact that Colin Cameron's career highlight is probably scoring in the Scottish Cup final win for Hearts, or maybe playing for Wolves in the Premier League.
Nope. Bo'ness. That's where he gets his kicks. I don't even have a name. This is that era of Hearts where I just don't know anybody apart from the main guys. So, who's a funny name that it clearly isn't?
I'll be honest, mate. I wanted to get this guy out of the way because again, I don't know.
Or do I make up a name? That's always fun.
To this geezer. Why not?
That's always fun.
You say whoever comes in.
Jordan McMullen. That's my guess. Jordan McMullen. He sounds like he could have played for Bo'ness.
It is not Jordan.
I'm stunned. I can't believe it.
It is Robert Sloan.
That, I will say, I have definitely heard the name of Robert Sloan.
I hadn't, so I figured he was a good who am I to chuck out.
But I would, the only you said it and I was like, oh yeah, I've vaguely heard that name, but that would never come into my head at all. I think he went by Rob Sloan. I think it was just like Rob Sloan.
Possibly.
But fair play, Rob Sloan. What was his achievement
then? So, with regards to the clues, he scored his first senior goal on Hearts' next visit to Fir Park as the Jambos won 2-1 towards the end of the 2001-2 season. That was after he made his debut in it as an 18-year-old in a 2-0 defeat at Motherwell. The following season, he found his opportunities limited by...
De Vries? No. Park? No. 2000. Juanjo.
Close.
Valois?
Jean-Louis Valois.
Valois.
Yes. It says on his Wikipedia, perhaps his career highlight occurred in the 2005-6 Scottish Cup, when he scored the winning goal as Alloa upset SPL side Livingston 2-1 in a third round rematch.
I was like, he didn't fucking play in the final. Why? What's this stat about him scoring?
I mean, I literally did say that he left Hearts in 2005, so I'm glad you were paying attention.
Yeah.
But yes, there you are.
Fair play to him. We
Bob Sloan.
Yep. He might be 6'4". Who fucking knows? Never. The guy could punch me in the face.
42 years of age. There is no way he's played for Armadale Thistle.
Nah,
surely.
There's not. But listen, maybe time stands still for him, and he just goes.
Update yourself, Wikipedia. Get the finger out.
Exactly. Right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed it. Again, another bumper episode because every episode that we've had at the start of the season, a million things has happened, so they all have to be big episodes. And we really appreciate.
Fairness, the reception's been great.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, the support we've had has been incredible. It's very evident there's a lot of optimism for Hearts, so people just want to hear people speaking about Hearts.
So thank you all very much.
Yep, massively appreciated. And if you have enjoyed us speaking about Hearts for the last 90 minutes, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It massively helps us out. YouTube has been exploding for us at the start of this season. Thank you so much. So if you've been watching us on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe as you have been doing. Perth to Paisley on all the socials, perthtopaisley@gmail.com if you want to fire us over an email. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can get me on all the socials where I will be reviewing Rob Sloan's career at Kendo's Column.
We will be back next week to discuss all the fallout from Dundee United, anything else that happens in the transfer market. Will Kabore actually sign? Who knows? But
will 5 players actually leave?
True.
Who knows?
That's a bigger question. But anything that does happen, we'll cover it next week. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.